everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. We are joining one runner on an incredible journey. She's taking on nearly 900 miles to shine a light on her immigration story and inspire others to overcome life's toughest challenges. Hector Mendoza brings us to Idaho for her story.
899.5 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Migration.
Yeah.
That's the distance between San Luis Rio Colorado, Mexico, where Christina Drake's story began, and Mountain Home, Idaho, the place she now calls home. It's also the distance she's running to honor her journey, a journey that carries the weight of migration, survival, and transformation. Monarch has long been a symbol of immigration and hope. Its journey spans generations.
And so what ends up happening is on its journey, which is a much longer journey than 900 miles, on its journey, it loses its wings, then it has babies, and those babies continue the journey, but those babies also die because it's such a long journey. And so the actual monarch butterfly that makes it to Mexico is like the grandchildren of the original monarch butterfly that left this area.
Just like the story of so many immigrant families whose courage and sacrifice make it possible for their children to soar.
It's a beautiful story. It's very symbolic.
And for her, that butterfly isn't just a symbol, it's a reflection of who she's become.
When I got to Idaho, I had nothing. I had 2 boxes full of art supplies and books, and maybe one piece of luggage. I thought about my parents as well, the kind of sacrifices that they had to make. And so I always have that in the back of my mind when I'm putting myself through basically suffering.
From the shores of the Gulf of Mexico, the deserts of Arizona, along the Pacific coast, and across Idaho's open roads.
I'm at 753.
Wow.
So I hope to do it. No, it's fine. I'll get it done. But yeah, 753.
Each step, a reminder that healing takes movement and that freedom often begins with the courage to start over.
There's so many different things that I've been able to do because I dared to do them.
From managing her own business, working for one of the top real estate brokerages in the state, and serving in city government.
It's a very beautiful reminder of how important our roots are as immigrants.
And as she runs, she's not alone. Her husband, Greg Drake, says watching her push through pain, exhaustion, and doubt has inspired him.
I'm learning from Christina just about every day, something new. But she's extremely resilient, and she's going to fight through whatever she needs to, whether it's miles or if she's sticking up for other people.
Because her message is one of both pride and perseverance, that even when life feels impossible, with strength, support, and faith in your purpose, you can rise and transform.
Mel Robbins says, I've dared greatly, and sometimes I've fallen on my face, but that's okay. I got up and I tried again, or I got up and I did something different. So just never stop trying.
That was Hector Mendoza reporting. Now, since we already broke a bit of a sweat with running, let's head into the gym now. And that is where we find a great-grandmother who is lifting weights at 90 years old. Wow, she pumps the iron 3 times a week for nearly 2 hours. Henry Ramos joins her on a workout session to find out what keeps her going.
So you try to always do something while you're walking?
Oh, yes.
When it comes to the gym, Barbara Green is known to raise the bar.
She is just so mentally sharp and so physically in shape.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep up.
At least 3 times out of the week for nearly an hour and a half, Green, who is 90,
Keep them limber.
will be right here working up a sweat.
Okay, we're going over here.
Working out wasn't always a part of her life.
You wanna
Green
follow
was
me?
busy, raising 4 kids on her own.
When did you really start working out then, Barbara?
Maybe, let's see, I'm 90, probably 8-10 years ago.
You want to get to where she's at. Keep coming in, because exercise is medicine.
I've never been overweight.
Okay.
I've always said I did not want to become a dumpy little old gray-haired lady.
Green eats healthy, no sodas, all water, and says what keeps her going is her family.
I don't want them to have to take care of me. Oh, you're not near through.
Green is beating the odds. According to the CDC, the average life expectancy of a woman in the U.S. is 81 years old. For a man, it is about 75 years old.
My grandmother, who lived to be 102, said, which is take care of yourself and the rest will take care of itself.
Dr. Dawn Cherie Walker works at Mission Trails Baptist Hospital. She says it is never too late to start making changes.
People saying I'll start my diet tomorrow, I always tell them no, pick one thing that you want to do today.
Got to make sure we have abs.
Yeah, right.
No surprise.
And I do.
The doc says eating healthy, moving the body and the mind,
Bring it up, back.
and listening to your body are the keys to success.
Keep moving, keep exercising, keep friends.
Wow, way to go. I hope I will be as active as her by the time I'm 90. That was Henry Ramos reporting. Now, an 85-year-old man has a remarkable streak. He has attended the Texas State Fair for 80 years straight.
Trying to set a record or anything, and then I realized that, hey, I haven't missed.
David White first came to the State Fair with his parents when he was just 5 years old, and 8 decades later, he is now the record holder. David says nothing will keep him from coming, not even age or arthritis.
I would have to go in a wheelchair or one of those scooters that the people ride around in.
David says the State Fair is a vacation. All right. Well, he once used his vacation to work at the fair because he says few things bring this much joy. Hey, do you? Now, speaking of joy, in a class for robotics, in San Diego, one teacher is being praised by his students. Jeff Zevely explains how he is helping them soar even after the school day ends.
Thank you, Mr. Bentz. To step inside the world of Mr. Sean Bentz is like taking a trip to another planet.
This classroom feels like a spaceship. There's stars on the wall and a stormtrooper just over there.
Yeah, it feels like kind of like I'm in outer space.
15-year-old Tezia McCollum will never forget taking Mr. Bentz's robotics class.
To me, Mr. Bentz is different from other teachers because he gives us great opportunities.
Whether it's building a robot or making the right move in chess, Mr. Bentz helps every student soar to new heights.
What I want to be when I grow up is a fighter pilot for the U.S. Air Force.
13-year-old James Lee Lewis has never seen a teacher care so much.
He's always willing to help you with whatever you need. He'll push you forward.
Mr. Bentz works a 12-hour day every day.
I hear Mr. Bentz is always available after the bell rings.
That's true, and he's always here in the mornings, too.
When it comes to work ethic, Andrew Rodriguez found a role model.
He doesn't have to do it, but he chooses to do that because he cares about us.
Listening to all of this praise brought Mr. Bentz to tears.
I'm a bit emotional because I put my heart and soul into everything that I do here. Each and every one of them. They have a dream, and I believe it's our responsibility as adults to help them get to their dream.
Which often starts by asking his students to dream as big as they can.
I want to be an FBI agent.
I would like to be an electronic engineer.
No matter their socioeconomic backgrounds.
Money is not an obstacle, as I tell my kids.
Mr. Bentz always comes up with the funding to help students attend after-school functions. And if he can't, he searches for grant money and scholarships.
If a kid has a dream, somebody has the money that wants to watch that child succeed. I love my kids. No, seriously. Like no other. They all have hopes and dreams, all of them. Look at them. They're amazing.
For the students listening, if you're moved by this, let's give Mr. Bentz a round of applause.
Mr. Bentz looks like a pretty cool teacher, and I know those kids will never forget him. That was Jeff Zevely reporting. Now, a young CEO has landed at the airport in Dallas, but she's not exactly boarding a plane. Janelle Forte shows us how a simple bag of popcorn is taking one 12-year-old entrepreneur to new heights.
Inside one of the busiest airports in America, among the souvenirs, neck pillows, and snacks.
Hi, would you like to try the world's best gourmet popcorn?
You'll find a small bag of gourmet popcorn with a big backstory.
I started when I was 5 years old, and I just wanted a business. It's not like I had a business plan or anything, just the desire to make people happy.
That's how 12-year-old Audrey Harrison's dream started 7 years ago.
That's the kettle corn right there. We started making it in our kitchen a little bit.
With their dad, Jeff, weekends in Grapevine turned into pop-ups on the front porch. Then door-to-door sales,
save me some, don't eat it all,
farmers markets, and more. Father and daughter selling smiles one bag at a time.
We would sell every Saturday, rain, snow, cold, it didn't matter.
Over the years, that dedication turned those smiles into opportunity.
Once we partnered with the factory, I mean, that made all the difference in the world. I mean, from that point, we could start working on the branding, we could start working on having a strategy.
She likes to try the world's best popcorn. It's my business.
Then came DFW Airport.
So I was walking through Grapevine, Maine on a Saturday morning, and Audrey and her dad were out there with a simple card table, sampling and selling. I stopped by, tried some, and it was fantastic.
Concessions manager Sabrina Cater invited them to a concessions outreach meeting, where she introduced them to Bridget Villegas, Hudson's Vice President of Business Development.
She did her elevator pitch, and I was highly impressed. And I went back to the company and I said, we need to get this girl in our stores.
Months later, Audrey's popcorn made it past security and into Hudson's stores.
And it's right here on the wall, right next to Frito-Lay and Coca-Cola.
We're always looking for locally made unique products for our customers to enjoy, share with their loved ones when they return to their home. So this is just total home run, in my opinion.
Same for us. We're super excited to have Audrey.
At DFW Airport, thousands of people take off every day.
It's hard to even process in my brain that all of this is happening. It's amazing.
And now, for this young entrepreneur, her business is taking off too.
We're at Love Field and Houston too, and we're looking to get all over Texas.
In Grapevine, by way of DFW Airport, I'm Janelle.
Oh, we'll be right back with more Featured. Here's a quick look at what's ahead. A teen's imagination is spilling onto the page and into bookstores. We meet a young author who is writing her own future. Plus, for decades, an art theft stumped police, but they learned an answer could be hidden in a novel. We hear from the author who may have closed the chapter on a long-time cold case. And a bit later on, a Zumba class is giving purpose to one cancer survivor, the lessons she's learned along the way. Welcome back, everyone. Let's head to Maine now to meet a teen who is not chasing her dreams. She's making them happen right now. Christian Harsa takes us to a library where she is checking out a book that has her own name on it.
A large ceiling fan grinds overhead, and the wheels on the cart stick as Rob and I push them.
These are the first words of the novel Factory Town.
The crates are full of metal, useful enough that we were told to steal them.
Authored by Portland-based Ramona Rowe.
He says it boosts its circuits for real.
And this is her mom, Elsa.
I couldn't be more proud.
Rowe has published her first book, been a featured writer in a collection of short stories, and writes an annual graphic novel with her family. What she hasn't written yet, her college essays.
It makes it a lot less worrying.
Rowe is 17 and a senior at Portland High School.
She is one of our most prolific writers, I would say, at the Telling Room.
The Telling Room is a Portland-based organization focused on enabling young writers like Rowe. Editorial director Rylan Hines says their Young Authors program functions like a Master of Fine Arts.
It's a pretty unique experience, and we're really proud to be able to offer that at the Telling Room.
Factory Town is a sci-fi novel about robots living and working in the human world. A human world set in the unlikely setting of Worcester, Massachusetts.
So really, it's just the robots in the Worcester that people are excited about.
Rowe's own excitement has not faded.
I saw my book at the library the other day, and I just took a picture and sent it to everyone. And I was just like, should I just check this out half a dozen times for the statistic?
She might not need to. Her mom, a librarian in Scarborough, says a stranger was the first person to check out Factory Town.
And it was just so thrilling that somebody who doesn't know Ramona, doesn't know me,
picked up that book, read the back of it, and said, oh, this sounds great, and checked it out.
Before the final draft, Roe made a lot of revisions. Or as Maine's own Stephen King says, kill your darlings.
I had to cut 1,000 words or a couple thousand words.
But there was one darling not up for slaughter.
I sort of put my foot down and I was like, I want it to have a happy ending.
About that happy ending, well, you'll have to read it for yourself.
That was Christian Harsa reporting. Let's switch genres now from sci-fi to a real-life crime in Minnesota. Nearly 50 years ago, thieves broke into an art gallery, stealing more than $500,000 worth of work. Jennifer Hoff looks back at the owner's international quest to get it back and the crime author who figured out who was behind it all.
Wasn't it?
He's written about crime cases his whole life.
That's my stuff.
But investigative journalist Bruce Rubenstein never helped solve one.
All of a sudden it all came together.
Until he wrote this.
About a year off and on.
A year of work went into the Rockwell Heist, the book published in 2013 about Minnesota's largest art heist and the 20-year quest to get it all back. The crime happening in 1978 at a St. Louis Park art gallery. The burglars stealing 7 Norman Rockwell paintings worth more than $500,000 ahead of a planned exhibit.
It was just nothing but gloom.
The trail, though, would run cold. The FBI even stopping its search, closing the case a decade later. Until the owner's daughter persisted, eventually recovering 5 paintings. It is. Following shady connections and leads across 4 continents to Brazil. And a so-called art dealer, Carol Levin, even interviewed then.
Well, I love art from the beginning, you see.
Local authorities compelling him to reveal where some of the art was hidden in 2001. The family spending thousands to get it back.
If there's any lore about thefts, it ranks near the top. It was at the top for a while.
Rubenstein relied on his old contacts, from prosecutors to informants, to figure out the 4 men behind the theft. He says included mobsters and are likely now dead.
I had to find a way to get it corroborated anyway. I mean, I just couldn't put it in the book. I think these are the guys who did it.
No one was ever charged with the crime Rubenstein calls opportunistic.
It's easy to steal and it's easy to sell.
As for the art gallery, it's long gone from Excelsior Boulevard, and so too are the owners. But this scandal still lives on.
In fiction and film,
with every page turn.
The accomplishment was finding out who did it.
And that was Jennifer Hoff reporting. Now, don't go too far. There is still more featured ahead. The only thing sweeter than a serenade is a home run. But for 2 Mariachi members, the real grand slam was finding each other on the diamond. We'll explain. Plus, he's not old enough to vote, but he's already making a difference in his community. How a teenager is using socks for a greater purpose. Welcome back. Right now, we are shining the featured spotlight on a Connecticut teen who has been warming up toes in need for more than half his life. Let me introduce you to high school senior Tommy Galinsky. Welcome to the show, Tommy.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. Now, this is some incredible work you've been doing as we are approaching some colder seasons here. Tell me what inspired you to get involved with this at such a young age?
So honestly, this all started when I was in kindergarten and I saw my sister actually doing her own project called Caps for Comfort. So she collected caps for people with cancer because her teacher actually passed away with cancer. And so she wanted to raise money and raise caps for people that have lost their hair so they can be warm in the winter. And so I told my mom, I was like, I want to do something like that, but not exactly like that. Do my own thing, and in 3rd grade, so I can be 1 year better, because she was in 4th grade when she did it.
Yeah.
So I want that sibling rivalry.
A little competition, a little healthy competition. Now tell me why you decided to go with socks instead of maybe coats or other clothing for the winter time.
So when I was figuring out what I wanted to do, I usually watch Socktober, or Kid President a lot, sorry. And so one of the projects he did was Socktober, and I thought that was such like a great idea, and I wanted to do that because I found out that Connecticut wasn't really doing that, and I was like, that's something that we could get done. And the rest is history, yeah.
Yeah, okay, now this is a community effort, right? So who else helps to make sure that folks have what they need?
So the whole town of Vernon, the Vernon Public Schools, they all do it. Luann's Bakery, they help.
Ooh.
Earthlight, they do it. We also have Northwestern Mutual, and we have a elementary school in South Windsor and Ellington High School.
Okay, good work. Now, you've been doing this for quite a while, 10 years. Just tell me more about how your mission, the simple thought, has grown from an idea to what it is now.
So honestly, I didn't expect it to be anything crazy big like me being on the news or anything like that. I thought it was going to be, just town-wide, right? And someone who really pushed an effort is the director of Cornerstone, Brian Flint. He helped me out in such hard times. I didn't know what I was doing, and he helped me out so much, and I have nothing but thanks for him, and I do it in honor of him because he is just the best. Yeah.
Wonderful, and I bet you're just really proud of yourself and everyone else who's managed to help and make this a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I want to know more about you. What's in store for you in the future once you wrap up high school?
So I'm a photographer and videographer at Rockville High School, and I want to pursue myself in film, and so I want to go to a college that has something like that.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you. I can't wait to hear another update on what you're up to in the next 5 to 10 years. I bet it'll be amazing. Now, before we do head out, go ahead and let us know how folks can reach out to you if they want to help.
So you guys I have a Instagram and I have a Facebook. It's Socktober Vernon CT.
Okay. All right, and you heard it here. That's how you can help make sure folks here in Connecticut have socks and stay warm out there. Thank you so much for joining us, Tommy.
Thank you for having me.
And we have much more for you straight ahead on Featured, a Facebook post. We're sharing with you here a stranger's courage and a gift that changed everything. We find out what happens when compassion meets crisis. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. A 32-year-old Missouri man has a new chance at life thanks to a stranger who donated his kidney. Mike Bush tells us how the connection was made via social media, and it came just in time.
Tim, hey, good to see you. You too.
Another doctor's appointment. Another day he almost didn't live to see.
Gout-wise, are you doing okay?
For Tim Heatherly, this is just another Friday. Except 4 years ago, he wasn't sure how many Fridays he had left.
And then just relax here.
He was at the doctor's office when his simple back pain led to a devastating diagnosis.
After the biopsy, they found out that it was chronic kidney disease, which is something that's kind of irreversible.
For right now...
Though just 32 years old, Tim's kidneys were failing. Dialysis became his lifeline, 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, tethered to a machine. His career in the car business, gone. His daily routine, erased.
With dialysis, it's not just that one day that's disrupted, because when you finish, you're very tired, and then the next day you sleep all day, so it disrupts every single day of the week.
Needing a transplant, friends stepped up to donate. One by one, they were rejected. And then someone responded to a desperate post from his mom on Facebook.
I mean, it was actually a simple post. It was just, needing a kidney transplant or something. I can't remember the words. I don't have it in front of me. But it was from his mother, because a mother's love is stronger than any bond you can have.
Joe Turner is a 39-year-old DoorDash driver from Cahokia Heights, Tim's hometown. He normally delivers food, not miracles. And the father of 3 avoids doctors the way most people avoid rush hour traffic. The two men met for the first time at Big Daddy's Bar in Soulard.
I had doctor's appointments 2 hours later.
After months of testing, the results were in. Joe was a perfect match, and Tim struggled to understand the generosity.
He's doing something huge for a stranger, which, you know, in this day and age, it's not a lot of people that do things like that for their friends, let alone a stranger.
Last month, the surgery happened. Joe's kidney became Tim's kidney, and it started working like it had been there all along.
Still healing, still, you know, got some post-op pain, things, but I feel healthy, you know.
Joe walked out of the hospital the next day, and he hasn't stopped checking on his new friend ever since.
He's messaging me every day, making sure I'm all right.
You never know when it is your last day.
The day we saw him, Joe Turner was wearing his favorite T-shirt, which says, "Kind people are my kind of people." Turns out, it's not just a slogan, it's his mission.
My motto to live by is to care about the people behind you that you may not know, because you don't know what they're going through. You actually inspire me. Like,
two strangers walked into a bar. One walked out with a new kidney and a brother for life.
I'm always going to be there for you if you need me for anything. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That was Mike Bush reporting. A Texas woman is dancing her way into recovery. Lydia Herrera shows us how this cancer survivor turned Zumba into more than just a workout, while also leading the way for others.
The room is full of music, feet moving, energy rising, but what you can see is the fight behind every step.
Zumba is maybe an hour, but that 1 hour that you're there, you're dancing, you're moving, so all this time it's helped me that, you know, God has given me the strength and the ability to still keep on moving.
For 14 years, Pat Marcha has danced Zumba, but she recently overcame a big challenge.
We're going to get through this, and we're going to do whatever it is that it's going to take. So sure enough, this past Thursday, I went and saw a doctor, my oncologist, and he said, "Okay, Miss Pat, whatever you're doing, you keep on doing it, because that's it, you're done." It's been 5 years, and now it's cancer-free.
Melissa Escamala still in the fight against an aggressive cancer with a high reoccurrence, but says Zumba has helped her get through the treatments.
It just brought joy to my heart during my battle. My daughter told me, "Mom, you have to embrace the moment," and I was like, okay. So I did absolutely that. I embraced the moment with grace and resilience. I did not let cancer break me. If anything, it's made me so much stronger.
At 72, Pat's not just surviving, she's leading the way as an instructor.
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago that they were gonna do an instructor class here. My daughter, Laura, she says, "Mom, keep your Saturday open," and I had no clue why. So sure enough, she signed me up, and I said, "Hey, why not? Here I am."
And I was there and gave it a try. It was a lot of fun. But for Pat and Melissa, this isn't just a dance floor, it's a place to survive. And for everyone else, it's a reminder, hope has rhythm.
For many families, finding a place where their loved one can continue to learn and thrive after school isn't easy, but a workplace in Georgia is giving adults with special needs that opportunity every day. Naomi Washington takes us there.
Cynthia Harbuck patiently waits for her morning ride to work. She's a familiar face at the Heart of Georgia Hospice thrift store, and she loves every minute of it.
I work hard there, and I like the people there.
Cynthia is 54 years old and has been a part of the Happy Hour Service Center family for 28 years.
They helped me get another job, and I just love them for that.
Community Relations Coordinator Bruce Hullett says they provide resources for them to be a productive part of society.
We believe that every individual, regardless of their ability or disability, should have the opportunity to thrive in life.
That mission stretches beyond their doors to something you might see around town. The Happy Hour Recycling Center is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taking in cardboard, aluminum, electronics, and glass.
But it mainly provides training training for our participants in teaching them different skill sets so we can place them out in the community at different vocational jobs.
The Happy Hour Center opened its doors 69 years ago, created to give special needs adults a place to continue learning long after their school years end.
They can only stay in the school system till they reach their 22nd birthday, and they either have to go to the couch or to the community. And of course, we'd love for them to come to the community.
And for people like Cynthia, that community has become a second home.
I put stuff out like Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff.
With a little support and a lot of heart, adults with special needs can keep shining brightly in the workplace and beyond.
That was Naomi Washington reporting. Learning how to play music can be life-changing, and that can often be an expensive opportunity, though. Byron Reed shows us a program in Colorado that is making music accessible for all.
Creativity grows from motivation.
All right, go to your pianos.
For 7-year-old Porter West,
sometimes the beat
his inspiration
can make it sound really fun.
Is music.
I like to dance, sing, and also play instruments and learn different kinds.
Whoa. West is a second grader at Del Mar Academy, a P through 8th grade school in Aurora that's giving their students a chance to grow.
It's all about planting seeds for me, so I hope that they get at least a little bit of joy out of each day and that they remember that music is tied back to that.
Good, one more time.
Deneen Marshall is the vocal and music teacher at the school. She applied for a grant from the Keys of Inspiration program so her students could have a creative outlet.
We got 20 pianos from the grant, and then actually at the beginning of last year, our numbers were exploding, so I had classes of 40, and then I wrote them again, and they sent us another 30 of the electric pianos so that everybody could have a chance to play all the pianos.
The program was started by the Long Long International Music Foundation and partners with Title I elementary schools to bring state-of-the-art piano labs to underserved communities.
It tends to be, if your parents have money, then you have access to piano lessons. But here, everybody gets access to piano lessons no matter what your background is.
Marshall says the program also helps students with emotional and social development.
It really helps with executive functioning, so knowing how to put things in sequence, what you should do first, second, third. It also is another opportunity for them to collaborate with each other.
For Preston and his classmates, the pianos are making an impact, budding from a program that's music to their ears.
I want to know how to play every single instrument and teach other people.
That was Byron Reed reporting. Now, instead of a pool, one Minnesota man opted for a batting cage in his backyard. Boyd Hupert tells us how that one decision led to a legacy of baseball and softball standouts from his neighborhood.
On a screens-open summer morning, nature typically provides the wake-up soundtrack. But down Minnetonka's Clear Spring Road, folks awaken to a different beat.
You'd be laying in bed and you'd just be like, oh, that's so awesome.
If music can be made with a bat and a ball, this backyard batting cage has become a concert hall.
Whoa. I've had a lot of crazy ideas. Like I said, this one worked out well.
Rick Delorier spotted the old phone poles that hold it all up. Discarded during a highway project 18 years ago.
I do remember that he dragged them off of Williston Road in his minivan, like in the dark, so that they were free.
Cages are normally meant to keep things in, but from that point forward,
crazy spreads really fast.
Rick couldn't keep the neighbors out. From across the street came Griffin Powell, not just once.
Probably once a day.
Not just that first summer.
For the first 15, 16, 17 years of my life, yeah.
Griffin will be heading to college in Mankato on a baseball scholarship.
Yeah.
From 2 doors down came little Derek Branson, now Minnetonka High School's reigning baseball MVP.
Ready, kid?
And from that house, right over there, no farther than a throw to first, came Luke Pedersen.
Just need to walk over here.
Who just finished his high school junior year. Named to the state baseball all-tournament team.
Can't be a coincidence, can it? It's not all the same genetic pool. We're not all, related.
What they do have in common is a neighbor so devoted.
He's a good hitter.
He found room for a longer cage as the children grew by buying the house next door.
Purchased the home, the city came out, replotted his land, so he had enough room.
So committed, he cleared the space for this ball field by moving his garage door and driveway to the other side of his house.
I was like, why is he ripping up his driveway? Well, there wasn't room for like all the bases. So we had to change the driveway.
Good for Elliot Powell, the neighbor boy now attending Concordia University on a baseball scholarship.
Oh, one more. That was a good one. In my memory, it was this or a swimming pool.
Mike Delorier is certainly glad his dad opted against that backyard pool. Rick's son not only played ball for Gustavus University, he set and still holds the state record for hits in a high school career.
The boys, it's not inaccurate to say they've literally grown up, in this cage.
Boys?
I did play with the boys.
Brittany Stewart from across the street, softball scholarship, Winona State University.
This is where we all hung out, this yard.
In this cage, they've squealed and squabbled.
Hit him in the face.
And once summoned the cops when a wayward deer got ensnarled in their net.
My son AJ has a senior picture in front of that batting cage.
Welcome back. Let's head to Texas now to meet two mariachi band members that are making a new harmony. Jobin Paniker tells us how a shared love for the music grew into a real-life long song.
The instruments we choose are often a reflection of who we are.
The violin is very loud and out there. He's very level-headed. He's very grounding.
From the most expressive notes to the deepest ones.
Very much like instruments, all big and round and small and skinny.
Michael Gonzalez and Cindy Cabrera play two very important but different roles in mariachi music.
They don't really coincide with each other.
Please welcome Mariachis de los Texas Rangers.
And their stage is Globe Life Field. They lead the Mariachi de los Texas Rangers.
Being the heartbeat of the mariachi and being the melody of the mariachi, they're two very important instruments for the band. We were both mariachis and we didn't even know it.
They met 7 years ago at a party. They've dated ever since.
She was gorgeous, gorgeous. Her smile, gorgeous, very gorgeous.
One plays the bass, the other the violin. On Mariachi Mondays.
I don't think we're the same person.
Opposites attract for sure.
In the near future, these two bandmates will play as one. Michael, in mariachi fashion, popped the question in January.
I loved it. It was what I would have wanted.
They haven't set the date yet, but they are in agreement on one thing, and it may be obvious.
We're going to have hopefully a mariachi-themed wedding.
These solos turned into a serenade.
Ultimately, it's music, right?
In Arlington.
Luckily enough, we were able to find a song to make it work.
I'm Jobin Paniker.
Dallas Mavericks fans are not feeling the love after a team traded a franchise star player. Teresa Woodard tells us how two playwrights came together to find the humor in what they call a tragedy.
Our breaking news here on SportsCenter.
An absolute blockbuster mega trade.
The whole world questioned it.
I'm shocked. The big news is Luka to the Lakers.
But our city?
I'm told Luka Doncic is still stunned about this trade.
Consumed by it. We've complained about it, cried about it. Can we finally laugh about it?
I've had the opportunity to work through some of my feelings by writing a play. It's one of the stages of my grief. It's the 8th stage. You write a play about it.
Matt Lyle is on set, an ancient version of the American Airlines Center, where the play he wrote is now running. The Trade tells the story of losing Luka. Is this a comedy or a tragedy?
It is a comedy about a tragedy, I think is probably the right way to say that.
It's a Greek tragedy with lots of audience participation, with heroes and a villain.
It's a comedy version of like someone who would destroy the city with one decision and think it's okay afterwards.
The best part is getting this, when someone is sitting beside a friend or like a husband or wife and they do like oh yeah, I know, I understand, I feel this, oh, they got this right.
Theater 3 in Uptown tries hard to stage uniquely Dallas productions. The Trade is getting rave reviews. It's being called therapeutic, perhaps because Lyle and his co-writer wrote what they felt as Mavericks fanatics.
Where's your Mavericks fandom now?
It's complicated. It's complicated.
This city can so relate.
And now the next question is, what are we going to write about next, Matt? What's the next topic?
Perhaps the sequel features a star in Dallas. I'm Teresa Woodard.
Students in Arkansas are bringing stories to life from the grave. Maya Ellison shows us how they're turning back the clock to give a voice to names that may have been forgotten.
At Mount Holly Cemetery in Little Rock, every stone has a story.
A story for our guests, Nathan?
A story, yes, a story of the Warren family. Well, it started in 1812, Versailles, Kentucky.
Tales of the Crypt is a project that started 30 years ago. Began this project where they brought students out to the cemetery, and then it developed into where they began to research the people buried here.
Mount Holly has become the final resting place for many notable Arkansans and has been dubbed the Westminster Abbey of Arkansas. Follow me this way, please.
Tamara Zink has watched that idea grow for decades, guiding Parkview Arts and Science Magnet students as they take visitors back in time.
We settled down in an area called Little Fork, Arkansas, submerged by Bull Shoals Lake today. We had 7 kids.
Walking among the gravestones, each stop tells the story of a different Arkansan, some well known, others long forgotten.
So far from peace, I faded, until the daughters of 1812 gifted me this gravestone. I was no longer forgotten. My name is Quady Elizabeth Brown Hensley Ross. This is my grave, and that was my story.
So I'm enjoying the stories that we're hearing, but I'm also catching myself looking as we walk up and down the aisles at all of the rest of the headstones and family names.
And before showtime, there's months of preparation.
They went downtown to the Butler Center and began to do the research.
Each student writes or refines a script to tell that person's story. And they don't just study history, they bring it to life.
Most of these are vintage pieces. Things come back around, and they've been able to modify and adjust it to fit that time period.
The clothes tell the story.
Yeah.
Proving that stories and the people behind them never fade with time.
History is so circular, you know, things that impacted these people years and years ago, we find replaying now, and I think we can learn so much.
Welcome back. Not every firefighter call involves putting out flames. Kelly Dudzik tells us how New York crews responded to 2 unforgettable calls that helped deliver twice the joy to grateful families.
We went like 5-6 years or more since we've had a field delivery, and we've had now 4 in a little over 3 months.
Village of Medina firefighter paramedics helped deliver twins in 2 different counties.
One in Orleans, one in Genesee. And then Friday evening, we had a 911 call for an obstetrical emergency. And the crews responded and attempted to head to Unity Hospital in Rochester.
But within a minute of getting into the ambulance, they had to pull over because this baby girl was coming.
We had to stimulate the baby and get the baby breathing again, and then also stabilize mom.
They diverted to Medina Hospital to stabilize mom and baby, then got them to Unity Hospital in Rochester. Then on Sunday morning, it happened again.
Right place, right time, I guess.
They got a call from Medina Hospital saying a woman was about to deliver a baby and they'd need to take her to Strong Memorial. They thought they'd have more time to get there.
So we started transport for paramedic Bates in the back. He's a newer paramedic and he had that eagerness of wanting to utilize his new skills.
But then Bates could see the baby's head, so they pulled over at the 390-490 split.
From the time Steve pulled over, it was roughly about 2.5 to 3 minutes before we delivered fully. And as soon as the child was out the Steve got on the radio and let them know that we had the child. So that was exciting.
Then they continued on to Strong with mom and a healthy baby boy. And as soon as they dropped them off, they cleaned up and went back to Medina for the next call.
So often we get to see patients take their final breaths, and these gentlemen were all able to see 4 babies take their first breaths, and that's just something you can't take away from any of them.
Wow, congratulations to the families on their new additions. That was Kelly Dudzik reporting, and that's it for Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.